Hello and welcome to another episode of Top Deck, the series where we take a look at some of the leading TCG deck lists. On today we have Ben Sherman, who got second place at the recent Carlisle Regional, playing none other than SPYRAL. So he played a going first build that you can see here, and before we actually get into this, we're going to bring him on and we're going to chat with him directly about this list. So you're coming back to the channel with another top and another second place.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite take the throne this time.
I mean, I tried.
And I think you were a bit hard done by, didn't you? Beat the person in first place with
yeah,
this?
last round. Played the person in first place, so they had a regional regardless. They had a 6-round event, basically. But they earned it, though. They went 6-0, and
Right.
they were the only XL going into the last round, so I was under the impression after the match, despite the fact I won, I feel like they still deserve to take the top spot of the regional.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough then. So for this event, you took what is shaping up to be the number one contender for the TCG meta, which is, of course, the new format SPYRAL, featuring Magician Souls.
Yeah.
Now, at the this was Carlisle Regional, right?
Yeah.
And at this event, how many SPYRAL decks made it into top 8?
I'm gonna say 6. It's either 5 or 6. At least 5.
Definitely, yeah. Which is kind of absurd, given that, you know, we've only just moved into this format. But, I mean, there's been a lot of hype around this pre-release, and even more so since the PPG event. But, so what was your logic for taking SPYRAL to this event?
Well, I still think the meta isn't yet defined. So, a lot of people jumped ship from Orcust, and then they moved to Altergeist and Subterra because they didn't really get hit in any way, shape or form. And then the other obvious top deck that came back because other decks that were in the top spot got hit, and then Magician Souls just adds a lot with SPYRAL. So it was considered the best deck, what some could say. So, you know, you've got to play the best deck to give yourself the best chance to top, really.
Yeah. Well, from the way you're speaking about it, it sounds a little bit like you don't think this is the best deck anymore. So have you already been swayed, or are you just speaking in hypotheticals?
When the meta gets more defined, I don't think it will be the best deck. For now, since we're not too sure, I think it is, but once we figure something out, it won't be.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Fair enough. Okay, so looking a bit closer at the actual deck that you ran then. So this is very much, of the SPYRAL list that we see are sort of divided into the two subclasses being go first or go second.
Yeah.
This looks to me like a going first list.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. But you have, you know, the side deck capability to still put on a very strong offensive when you are forced to go second on top of that. So I'm not super familiar with the danger lineups, but I mean, you've got the 6 ones, which I would say are absolutely key in pretty much any combo deck. Were you happy with this lineup?
Yeah. Obviously, I'd like a little more, but the rest aren't consistent enough. Each one of these, regardless of which effect, it can help your play along either way. Most people play like maybe Bigfoot or a Thunderbird, and if they do get hit, they give you nothing if you're going first. Mothman, obviously getting discarded isn't the best thing, but sometimes you need that to put a trap into the grave or the assault or anything. So it sometimes can come up, and it's a level 4, so you can summon it from the deck with Jackalope, and it helps to make Dweller as well, which can be very, very strong.
Yes, yeah, definitely, especially when, you know, as you say, the format is not super well defined, and we're in a current state where lots of the decks that people are just playing anyway do have that graveyard reliance. And you've got the one Searchable DD Crow, Triple Souls, which obviously is the new starter for the deck. Did you find that this, you know, provided the impact that you thought it would?
So going second is obviously quite tough. If you go in second, there's no pun there intended because there is a SPYRAL stuff, but if you go in second against Mirror, you kind of either hope they brick or hope they're playing a non-explosive build, or sometimes, you know, you'd rather just play DD Crow. But it's usually a sort of a throwaway game, and then game 2 and 3 is a bit more difficult.
Yeah, some more interaction on
that.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, and then would you say that this Spiral lineup is typical?
Yeah, so initially I was playing Rota and 3 Super Agent, but I decided to drop those 2 because I found Super Agent isn't as important as I first thought. Because you can usually search out mid combo and then that helps anyway, and it helped me fit the surge cards in, which were more important, like Caught by the Grave, which I think you have to play 3 in this deck because Draw and Lockbird absolutely kills you. Most of the hand traps you can play through, like I've been DD Crowed and Nibiru'd and still made like Appaloosa and Sleeper as well as another card. So
yeah, definitely. The fact that you could just like you hold your Sleeper until the opportune moment.
Yeah.
And you can search it out so easily in the combo is just crazy good.
Yeah, Sleeper's really strong.
I absolutely agree with the decision on the call by in the main there.
Yeah, because Droll just kills you.
Yeah, you just don't want to lose to that. And people are maining it now because they do fear the Spiral matchup. So I haven't been paying clearly enough attention to Spiralists. Is playing 3 big red a typical choice?
I'm going to say no. I'm pretty sure outside of the Power Tool version, they only play 2.
Okay.
However, I wanted to use it because sometimes in the combo you're going to draw like souls in a big red. You're not always going to have access to the quick fix straight away, or you're going to have to do it in a very awkward way, or you might have Foolish in a big red, and I just wanted the maximum chance to draw it because it is effectively a monster reborn.
Yeah, sure.
But in the other builds, like there's the so there's like it usually gets split to 3, like we saw in the PPG. You've got Extravagance, or you could say 4, I guess. You've got Extravagance, Scrap, Pure, which I guess is this where it's got dangers in it, and then you've got Go Second, which is sort of similar, but it plays more hand traps and more blowout cards. And
you just play exactly the Evenlies
and
Dark Rule No More, etc. Just break those boards.
Yeah, and I wanted to keep it 40, but I didn't really want to play Upstart. I mean, I took it out for another card. What did I take it out for? I believe I took it out for Foolish Burial. I wasn't actually playing Foolish Burial at first. I decided to put it in.
Did it have the impact that you wanted it to?
Yeah, because just having that access to the Master Pawn or the Quick Fix when you need it also helps. And you have some hands where you just draw Foolish Burial Goods, and then like a bunch of spells, and that's fine. Because you can still make a play.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So looking a bit at the extra deck then. So you mentioned the Dweller already, obviously Recital Starling, searches out your DD Crow. From previous versions of Spiral, I seem to recall people typically played only 1 rank 1 monster.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to play 2 rank 1 monsters?
So if you play 1, then you lose the quick fix search early. If you play 2, you still end up with the same amount of monsters to do the full combo, since the say the drones and the quick fix become the second rank 1, and then you could bring the quick fix back to an additional time, so it replaces itself in that way, and also gives you another gear. And also, I just wanted the option to possibly sack another card with Princess Sprite, which I actually did in the last round. We could talk about it a little later, but it came in clutch.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Fair enough. Then for the rest of the extra, I mean, most people are now including the Cerberus. I'm not sure about the Griffin though. Has that become a popular choice in the extra deck?
I'm not sure. I really like it. It's there for Curious Griffin combos because there's some things you can incorporate in the side deck, and sometimes you can reset a Caught by the Grave or something. But it has come up very occasionally where I put it in the main monster zone, and then my opponent can't. Specifically against Poltergeist, they can't use that multi-faker. So because it needs an arrow pointing to it to actually be able to use it. So I kind of like it.
That sounds pretty funny, to be honest. Okay, and I guess the rest of the extra is pretty standard. You got your removal and your combo pieces and your end board stuff.
Yeah. I really like the Cerberus. I will say, I do like the Cerberus.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you go in second and you need to clear boards, you can go through almost all of the nightmares, usually not Griffin, and then if you do it in a certain way or you make a Link Reaver first, you're always able to just keep drawing every time you destroy a card or return a card, so it's really fun that way as well.
Yeah, that's always been a really strong advantage engine if you have the ability to discard actually useful stuff as well.
Yeah.
It's great. And looking at the side deck then, so obviously Pankratops, pretty much everyone is playing this in the side to just like break the boards more easily, and then Triple Droll is, format defining.
Yeah.
I think. And then you managed to pick up 3 Lightning Storm ahead of this event, even though it's on the same week as the release of Ignition Assault. Did this have the impact that you wanted it to?
It was okay. I only really used it, I think, once or twice. I used it once as a Feather Duster, which it was okay, but it was against Altergeist, and they sort of played around it a little. And I used it once as a Ryeki as well. And then there's another story for the final round as well with that card, but we can get to it later. However, I will stop to give a shout out to someone from my locals that was a nice man and lent me 2 Lightning Storm for the event. Because I did own one myself, but I only owned a other version one, let's say. Which was why I wasn't able to pick up 2 secrets, because I'm a poor man. After buying that one. But a friend of mine from locals, he only wanted a Marincess Super, so he bought a box full of Lightning Storm, didn't get the Super he wanted, so he bought another box and then pulled another Lightning Storm. So sure. People are
not
crazy.
Too bad.
Yeah. Some people have all the luck, but you got to be in it to win it. I didn't buy the boxes, I didn't pull it,
Yeah, it's true. It's very
but yeah, I think it's definitely one to play in the side deck. I actually didn't side Twin Twisters in any match all day, even against like Altergeist. So that might actually be a cuttable card. Strangely enough.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'll let you continue.
Well, yeah. So I was gonna say, did you prefer having Lightning Storm to something like Dark Ruler No More? But I mean, potentially, if you think those Twisters are cuttable, you could just put in the Dark Rulers if you think they would be more important. But what do you think on that?
Initially, I was playing Dark Ruler before the release of Lightning Storm, and I just wanted more for the back row decks, I feel, because against one of my Altergeist matchups, I used Evenly twice. I used Lightning Storm, and he just still had more cards because of things like Extravagance and like its Silk is just able to keep recycling these back rows, and I don't like that matchup. Not a fan of the matchup.
Fair enough. Okay. I think Mind Control is fairly self-explanatory, Evenly too, but I do want to get on to this last card in the side deck, which is a Pointer of the Red Lotus.
Yeah, so initially I wasn't playing it, and then a very, very handsome friend of mine gave me the recommendation. I'd seen it online as well.
Who would that be?
Yours truly, Mr. Joe Bucknell himself. And I thought I'd try it, because it does make sense, since Sphere Mode does break your board, and there's no answer to that except cards like a Pointer of the Red Lotus, or I guess Master Restrict is one, or Prohibition. But yeah, because you can send it with Curious and set it with Griffin, you get access to it that way. And it never came up. I sided it in a few times in my first. I never was at the stage where I would.
You never resolved Griffin.
It? No, I didn't see it at all during the entire event.
Okay. I'm just wondering because I did mention this to you beforehand, because I was thinking about playing it and desperately trying to find some copies, because it does so much, I think, at the moment, where evenly Dark Rule No More and Sphere Mode, and maybe some other cards in the format just are big problems. But if you never get to a position when you can Curious Griffin the one copy, then I imagine it's a bit harder to judge that.
Yeah, the Curious is awkward to make. If you've got access to the dangers, it makes it easier. However, other times you're often having to use like a Super Agent and a Quick Fix and something else, and it's just really, really weird.
Yeah. No, okay.
But yeah, I like it. It seems like it gives you an answer to the things that you otherwise wouldn't, and lets you see their entire hand, so you can map out the entire turn from there.
Yeah, that's always quite nice, especially when you set up with this deck. You set up a board of disruptions, and you don't want to be wasting them all on the worst cards. So that information is really, really nice to have. Let's look a bit at your rounds then. So as you mentioned, it was a 7-round event. You am I correct in saying you had one loss in round one?
Yeah, I lost round one. The classic.
It's always going to be round one, or it's going to be the final round. Those are the two the two big ones. And this was against Salamangre. So do you have any comments on that, or was it just generally a tough matchup because of hand traps or something else?
It depends entirely on the player. It's one of those decks where it's all about the decisions the player makes on their side and how they respond with their traps and their hand traps and things. So against like sort of an average player, you probably fare a lot better, but against a really good player, it can be quite difficult. And I also bricked game 3, so that didn't help. It is what it is, really. Game 1 was quite fun. I lost the die roll, and then he sets up Raw. He's got a set Impermanence and Avash in hand, and I OT came through it, so that was a thing. Yeah, nice. You have to make Dweller against Spiral, otherwise you will die. You will die a death.
Yeah. You have to make Dweller, or you have to have the Droll and hope they don't have the Call by the Grave.
Yeah, you need something to lock them out, rather than just negate a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not exactly the easiest thing to do anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you've got some interesting matchups here. So you had a BA Turbo deck, a Mathmech deck, Altergeist, and then 3 Spiral in a row. So that must have been fun to have those mirror matches for the practice.
Yeah, definitely. So the BA Turbo, I go first. What does he scoop to? He scoops to drones, so I don't know what he's playing. He's playing 57 cards, something like that. So I assume I'm going second, so I don't know what I'm playing against, so I just side. Pretty sure I side Lightning Storms and Drolls, because they're good against most things, I guess. And then he makes me go first, and I combo board him again, and then he doesn't scoop this time because it's game 2. And then and then he kaijus me, but it's just not enough. So I even said, how come he made me go first? And he's like, I don't know, he's not really sure he could kaiju me, but I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, bit weird.
Yeah.
What about the Mathmech round? Did anything happen in that one, or was it?
He kind of. I went second game. I think it was either game 1 or 2. I made what I call the Ultra board, which is the best board I think I've ever made with the deck. Where yeah, so I make Appaloosa. I think it was on 2. Trigate, Cerberus and Phoenix attached to it. I had a Dweller and a Sleeper with the equip. He tried to kaiju my Appaloosa, which he couldn't because he has no space in the main monster zone, which is quite funny. I had to turn off the Trigate, which is fair enough. But yeah, we call it the Ultra board because I made every single thing I could.
That's that's crazy.
And then he had a bit of misunderstanding about the way Solemn Judgment works as well, like trying to negate effects and things.
Okay.
So there was that.
Should have been playing Scolding.
Yeah, but he had the back row, so that wasn't viable. Yeah, he had 2 Solemn Judgment, you know. And then I just went through all the nightmares, pitching off things, and then I just bounced his monster with Unicorn and attacked a 2-2 again. So
nice. Cool. And then Altergeist, you mentioned that you got to resolve the Harpy's Feather Duster effect.
Yeah. So game 1 I go second. He doesn't really see any monsters, so he's just playing through traps, and then I'm able to stack his deck, so he's just drawing bad, and then he loses advantage because he runs out of traps because he's got no draw engine, he's got no monsters. But that's how it is. Game 2, he goes first again. He sets 2 and passes, I think. I do draw evenly match, but I don't play it because he's only got 2. And then he's able to stop my combos, and I don't have enough, so I lose that game. And then game 3. Game 3. So I go first. I'm pretty sure I get interrupted. And then he sets. Oh no, that's it. I don't get interrupted. I have no monsters. I remember now. And I didn't draw a monster until 5 turns later. When I'm on. So my hand is insane as well. I've got like Big Red, Where Art Thou. I've got like a Rescue in the Grave. My hand's insane. If I draw any monster, I'm good. I've even lit him twice. I've Lightning Stormed him once. So he's like, but I'm on 700. I draw a Quick Fix, and I'm like, we're saved. So I normal the Quick Fix. I've already got the Big Red in hand, so I don't need the search at this point. And then he ashes it, and I use my set Call by the Grave on the ash. which I didn't need to do because, like I said, I didn't need the search. Then his Soul and Judgment's the call by, and I'm very happy that he baits out the thing. I don't need the search. And then I activate Wear Off now. Search out my Magician's Souls. I'm on 700 life points at this point, so I have to kill him this turn, otherwise it's game over. But I clear his board, and then I make Appaloosa as well to stop Concuri's and Nibiru's and things, and then I just go win. If I didn't win, I would die to my own Wear Off, though, which would have been quite funny.
Yeah, that could have been a bit.
Yeah.
Whoops. Cool. And then that was followed up by 3 Spiral Mirror Match.
Yeah. So the first one was fairly simple. I go first. I do the full combo. He doesn't scoop 2 drones. He lets me see what he's playing. So, and then he scoops on his turn. So he wanted to see what I end up on. Because if I don't end on the Trigate version, he knows I'm playing the extra build. And so he wants to see what I end up on. So I end on full Trigate sleeper. We're good. Game 2. He 1-for-1s, discard drone specials out. Quick fix. Then he goes to big red the drones, and I had to crow for the drones, and he didn't have call by, so he kind of had to pass there, and then I OT game. So
nice.
YuGiOh. The next one, I lose the die roll. He goes off. He's full comboing. I wait until he activates the drones to scoop. I don't let him see what I'm playing. But I wanted to get up to that point to see if he would make any mistakes in the combo, to see if he was fairly new to it or if he knew what he was doing. So I scoop to the drones. I go first. I have souls, it's all good. And then I get DD crowed on my master plan, so I'm like, okay, it's fine, we'll get another one. So I foolish burial, another one. And then I try to use the rescue on that one because the big red failed, and then he crows it again, and I'm like, oh my god. So that's two master plans crowed, but he doesn't have a follow up because he kind of bricked. So I'm able to next turn I'm able to get going and I kill him, and then game 3, I'm not sure if I had a hand trap. I know he bricked. He wasn't able to do like a full combo or anything, so that was good. And then
that's enough.
I didn't really open too great myself. I don't think I had combo. I was just gaining an advantage with super agents and stuff. Yeah. And then just pop in where I could, and then not putting too much on board so I don't get evenly either.
Yeah.
So that was that.
Sure. And then your final round against the XO.
Yeah. So I lose the die roll. My hand is pretty strong. He goes Rota for Armageddon Knight. I'm like, okay. Normal Armageddon Knight sends Master Plan. Then he foolishes Quick Fix, and then he goes set one pass. I'm like, all right. So he broke.
Wow.
And I win. Well, he draws me, and I call by for draw. And it's at that point he's like, we've all been there.
Yeah.
You're like, I got this one hand trap, holding it with 2 hands, waiting for the precious moment, and then it gets called by. And it's a sad time. And then game 2, he goes first. I don't have a hand trap. He full combos off. He ends on Appaloosa on 4, IP, draw DD Crow in hand, and Sleeper. And he chooses to recycle the result back into his hand as well at the end phase. So my hand is pretty good. I've got Sleeper Master Plan, so the best 2 cards to start with. I've got 1-for-1, Wear Off Thou, and I'm pretty sure the last card was a Rescue, if I remember right. So he stacked my deck, and this is what I was saying before, and he gives me a big red, which is quite a powerful card to give me. And then he told me after the game one of the other cards he saw was a Lightning Storm, so that's why he didn't give me that. I don't know what the third card was. I probably should have looked. So that's where the Lightning Storm came in. So anyway, I end up breaking his board, but it's where I get lucky. So I 1-for-1 out. I do a bit of plays. He's used his Sleeper. He's used his IP for a Unicorn to bounce my Sleeper back to the deck, because I had to summon it in a really awkward way. And so he's got an Appaloosa on 2, Sleep that's been used. He's still got the Crow in hand. I've got a Master Plan and a Rescue in the grave, but I can't use it because of the Crow. So I've got Souls and Drones on board. I make Sylvan Princess Sprite, attack over his Appaloosa, and then use the effect of the Princess Sprite main phase 2, and then I hit a call by the grave. So I was like, oh my, wow. I literally pulled it up and slapped it on the table like it was full on Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! And then it was a Yu-Gi-Oh! moment, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually going to play here. So I use the trap on my plan. He's like, I kind of have to correct. I know you've got called by, but I kind of have to, so I'm like, sure, I'll call by it. Which makes sense, because then it means I can't use called by Crow on his turn, which is fair enough. So I clear his board. I have to use Phoenix to pop his last resort, so then I can use a Cerberus to pop his Sleeper, which will blow up his board, and then he brings back a Super Agent, and then I end on Appaloosa with 3 Sleeper and the Field Spell, and I choose to not recycle the Field Spell. And then his turn,
Yeah.
he activates a resort. I chain the sleeper, pop my resort, his resort, and his double helix. And then I've stacked his deck with drones, so he's drawing bad for the next turn. So so
Easy.
Princess Sprite into Carlisle is game. I've done it before to a friend as well.
Yeah.
I Princess Sprited into Soul Charge last time, so that was popular.
Wow.
Yeah, that's quite funny. So play Princess Sprite for the sack factor.
Sounds like these spell cards are really helping you out here.
Yeah, they're really good. Called by the Grave is MVP, definitely.
Nice. Well, that's it for the rounds then. But have you got any changes in mind for this list? Do you plan on playing Spiral again in the future?
I'll probably play it again. I don't feel as confident with Spiral as I was, say, last format with Striker Orcus. Like last format, I felt like I'm just going to win the Striker Orcus. It's just, it does what it does. It doesn't have to go for a massive process of steps to get to where it wants to be. It doesn't die too hard to hand traps. Whereas this, if you get drolled and you don't have Call by the Grave, it's good night Irene. It's game over. You finished. I'm considering dropping the twins as thing. Decks like True Drake are obviously a lot less popular now. Diagram died. It's only Altergeist and Subterra that will play the back row, and maybe some Mystic Mind decks. But I think the combination of Evenly and Lightning Storm and Pankratops should be enough. Plus the inbuilt destruction of Super Agent and Tough and the Nightmare package. I feel that might be enough. So I'm still unsure what the last two spots of twin. Maybe two more pointers, just so I can hard draw it and then see it that way as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a nice tech, but
shout out.
Just out, see what you think. Cool. Are there any shout outs you want to make?
Yeah, so Danny Freeman, my friend that lent me the Lightning Storms and two Magician Souls, because I didn't have them. Shout out to Callum Cook for beating me round 1 and then dropping and leaving me in Carlisle on my own round 5. And shout out to Luke Forshaw, who got his prizes just before me and pulled a Starlight Perpetua. So that was sad. Yeah.
You can luck out on the Princess Sprite, you can't luck out on the pack.
I did okay. So the price support was fairly reasonable. The main reason I wanted to go to this event and play is it was the new style deck boxes, and I was determined to win one. Yeah. So, chances have it, I did. It proves that sometimes you don't brick with Spiral.
Yeah.
I'm not too fond of the map, but, yeah. And then my price support, I got I think 2 secrets and 2 ultras, so I did okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's pretty good. Cool. Well, congratulations on making this top.
Thank you.
Great to see the list, and thank you for all of your insights.
Yeah, I'll probably have another second place regional profile for you at some point. Only second place.
Yeah.
I think the last 3 have all been
in the next couple of weeks.
Well, I think this weekend we're going to the Brotherhood and maybe one in Cheltenham, so maybe
nice.
Some more second places to come in.
Cool. Thanks very much.